Well, we're getting indications that some of you in certain parts of the country are getting some wrong signals with our set-top boxes. Please don't worry. Our technical team working around it to make sure that you are not inconvenienced in any way in what you watch. But let me just run by you some of your messages. Very, very great messages we're getting this morning. This one says... it says the ripple effect of the cancellation of trainee teacher allowances by the NDC is disastrous. I obtained my profession courtesy trainee allowance. NDC assertion the abolition of trainee allowance has increased enrollment is just a no-go area. And so Kusie just so besians, it says now let us vote into power. Nanado Dankwe Kufuado. Okay, then we have a lot more of your messages as well. Let's just read this one also. Are politicians afraid to pass the right information bill? God save Ghana. And that's from King George from Sefri Komiyama. I hope I pronounced the name well. And you want to know when government to release feeding grants of Nothing SHS to enable them go back to school. They're currently at home, and that's by Joe Dakura. I think that's a very important one. If they're home because of that, that's not the best thing. But we told you that our award-winning journalist here, Manasseh Azure-Awone, has come out with another investigative piece. This one not only taking the journey from Ghana but also beyond our borders in Burkina Faso, and it's about a lot of things got to do with contracts and gift taking, etc. That also has different ramifications going into the realm of corruption, etc. I wish I could give you the whole of the story, but I can't. But that's why he's here. Manasseh Azure-Awone, thanks for joining me.
Pleasure is my Roland.
Great to have you. But what did you investigate about? I mean, just a summary.
A summary has to do with allegations of conflict of interest and impropriety in terms of taking bribes. You know, we have the president, that's President John Mahama, in 2013 launched a code of ethics for his ministers and political appointees. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice also has guidelines for the conduct of public office holders, and we have the Conduct of Public Officers Bill 2013 in Parliament to be passed into a law. And all of these bills and codes of ethics are meant to guide the behavior or the conduct of public officers. And according to Daniel Batterdam, who advises the president on corruption, a public officer is from the president to the lowest. So what is happening is that they are supposed to adhere strictly to this conduct. And so at the end of the day, I got information. And if we remember, in 2014, there was a report that the Ghana embassy in Burkina Faso spent about $650,000 to build an embassy fence wall, and the Public Accounts Committee asked that it should be investigated. And everything started from that issue, that contract. Piece. Yes. So I had information that the man who got the contract is so close to the ambassador, he's so close to government officials. He's so close to the ambassador who was then Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso then. And he might have got the contract because of that closeness. So I followed up and even got to realize that something else changed hands. He is even closer to a more influential public officer, and beyond their friendship, something else changed hands. So this investigation is to find out what changed hands, who got what, and what that means. So this one, I think we have a short piece. Maybe there will be the extended version in other bulletins and our programmings in the coming.
So this one is about, what we're about to show is about how many minutes?
It's about 7 minutes.
It's about 7 minutes. Yes. And details a lot. Okay, so we just can we just watch it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we will just watch Manasseh Azure-Awone's latest piece, his latest investigation that has allowed him to cross the borders of Ghana into Burkina Faso to undertake an investigation about a contract that was awarded to a firm to construct the walls of the Ghana embassy in that very country.
What you have to do is politics.
It's not politics.
If I buy the plane, you are continuing.
The atmosphere in the air-conditioned office of Jibril Kanazwe, a renowned contractor and businessman in Ouagadougou, is heated. Jibril Kanazwe paused my interview with him and seized the voice recorder. He accused me of trapping him to disclose information he would ordinarily not disclose. I was in Burkina Faso to investigate allegations that he used undue influence to win a contract. He defended the process through which he won the contract and justified the cost of the project. The Ghana Embassy fence wall in Burkina Faso was built around a piece of land that is yet to be developed. The land is about the size of a football pitch and is located at the ambassadorial enclave in Ouagadougou. Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso at the time of the project, Chief Dauda Mandiaya Baumia, said he wrote to Mr. Kanazwe and 2 other contractors to submit quotations for the project. He does not remember the names of the other 2. There are allegations that the contractor who eventually won the contract is his close friend. Chief Baumia does not dispute this claim.
He's my friend and he continues to be my friend because we didn't break up the relationship after I left.
Mr. Kanazwe explains how he won the contract.
Each institution have his way of managing his contracts matter. We got a letter from the embassy that a bid, and we have sent our code. We replied to the bid. And we got the contract.
Was it advertised in newspapers or they wrote to you directly?
Oh, they wrote to us. It was not on newspaper.
A former chief executive officer of the Public Procurement Authority, Ajenim Boatiaje, said a contract of this nature should have gone through competitive bidding.
The law has provided for thresholds above which a method is to be used. Now, if you talk of a 650,000 or a 2 million contract or 2 million procurement, the law definitely requires that, one, you cannot use request for quotation because it's got a threshold of 20,000 and above. It could either be a national competitive tendering or international competitive tendering.
He said the Foreign Affairs Ministry could have obtained approval from the Public Procurement Authority if it wanted to use restricted tender.
Restrictive tendering and sole source are methods which are not restricted by value. But then the law makes a clear provides a clear instructions that such methods of procurement must have a prior approval from the Public Procurement Authority.
Attempts to get details of the contract from the Foreign Affairs Ministry yielded no results. The Public Procurement Authority, on the other hand, would not comment on whether the ministry sought approval or not. In the office of Mr. Kanazwe hangs a photograph of him and President John Mahama. Exactly a week before I went to meet him in Burkina Faso, President Mahama had commissioned the 46-kilometer Dodo Pepeso section of the Eastern Corridor Road, Mr. Kanazwe's latest project in Ghana.
I also want to take the opportunity to thank Messrs. Umaru Kanazwe, Contractors Limited of Burkina Faso, for the very high quality of work they have done on this stretch of road. As I said, perhaps this is one of the best quality roads in Ghana today.
Joy News has evidence that Jibril Kanazwe sent a brand new Ford Expedition vehicle to President Mahama in 2012, the year he got the embassy fence wall contract and a 25.9 million euros road contract.
There was this vehicle you gave as a gift in 2012, that's the Ford Expedition. Was it meant for the ambassador or it was meant for the president?
No, that one, I'm not aware of that one. I'm just aware of the wall.
But you also gave a Ford Expedition car to the ambassador, and I want to know who it was intended for.
No, I did not give a Ford Expedition to the ambassador.
In 2012, when the vehicle was given, Ghana's embassy in Burkina Faso wrote a letter ordering border authorities at Paga to allow the vehicle to pass.
That letter reads,
I have been directed to inform you that the Ghana Mission in Ouagadougou is assisting with the transportation of a gift donated to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, by Mr. Jibril Kanazwe, a renowned contractor in Burkina Faso. The said gift is a Ford Expedition with engine number E173 A190 5101 and chassis number 1FMJ UI J58 AEB 60748. I am to request the competent Ghanaian border authorities at the Paga border to kindly assist with the passage of the said vehicle and those transporting it without any let or hindrance. I wish to take this opportunity on behalf of His Excellency the Ambassador to express the mission's appreciation in anticipation of your kind cooperation. Signed for Head of Mission by Maxwell Nyakonlate, Head of Chancery.
After showing this letter to Mr. Kanazwe, he admitted sending the vehicle to President Mahama.
It is a letter which suggests that you sent a gift of Ford Expedition. The chassis number is quoted
to the
here.
ambassador.
Yes, to be given to the president. This is a chassis number.
This is to the president, not to the ambassador.
Yes. So, did you give a gift to the president?
Yes.
You gave a gift.
Yeah.
Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso at the time, Chief Dauda Baumia, told Joy News he facilitated the passage of the vehicle through the Paga border into Ghana.
When the laissez-passer was issued, I did accompany the car to Bolgatanga, handed it over to the Upper East Regional Minister then to forward it to the president, telling him how the car came, that it was a gift from Jibril Kanazwe.
But you are aware it was handed over to the president?
I handed it over to the then Upper East Regional Minister,
Makoyongo.
Yes, and that is all that I know as at now. But I do believe that, yes, it would have been handed over to the president.
Jibril Kanazwe said President Mahama acknowledged receipt of the vehicle.
He called me, he said, thank you very much.
So after receiving the car, he called you to thank you for the gift?
Yes.
And so that's just a gist of what really, just an edited portion of what a longer version could be, and it will be featured in subsequent bulletins as well as other programming on the channel, particularly Joy Prime, and that'll be in the evening also. That's at 8 p.m. But Manasseh, so first you asked the question, and we just have to go over a bit. You asked a question whether the contractor presented a gift to the ambassador or to the president. He denied.
Yeah.
Then later, when you showed him the letter that was asking for clearance of passage of the car to Accra, he then confirmed that the gift was for the president. Okay. The other question I have to ask is then what happens in the subsequent package that you have? You spoke to other people who would then give you a better clarification as to whether a gift is tantamount to an influence of an individual or not.
Yes, we did speak to people, and one of them is the former Commissioner of Shraj, Justice Emil Short. Whilst in office, he dealt with similar cases. We also spoke to Daniel Batidam. He is the advisor on governance at the office of the president, and he also advises the president on corruption. And I think recently was elected as the chairman of AU Anti-Corruption Board. And so I took him or brought him to explain the provisions in President Mahama's Code of Ethics and the other codes that deal with similar situations. So,
so you pose serious questions to them.
Yes.
Because within the code, the president was not supposed to be receiving gifts or to a certain amount.
Yes, there are restrictions, and the president's code, for instance, states that you are not supposed to take any gift from a commercial entity in order not to create
his own code.
Yes, an obligation. And if you look at the other codes, they are all
within that
same remit. And so it clearly states that they are the technical people. They know better than we do. So I brought them to explain to us and pose hypothetical questions to Daniel Batidam. That if the president came to you and told you that I'm about to get this gift from a contractor who does business with the government, what advice would you give? And he said, well, you know, because of the kind of president we have, that can never happen. And I said, okay, let's assume it's a hypothetical situation. What would you tell the president? And he said, well, no responsible public official would want to be advised on this. It's a straightforward case, and that no responsible minister, leader or public official would accept such gifts. So it is a very interesting package, and I think after listening to the whole thing, we will be clear the implication of what has happened.
Did the president receive the gift? Did you find out whether the president received the gift, or the gift got to him in Accra? Or, you know, sometimes people do things in the name of people, that's why.
Yes, but from what I'm hearing, it seems because I asked the...
It got to him one way or the other, you
Yes,
say.
because the contractor is telling us that after getting it, the president called him to thank him for the gift.
That's what
the contractor said.
Bazue, or is it Bazue?
Kanazue. And you also have the ambassador then saying that he accompanied the gift from, or the car from Burkina Faso, crossed the border to Bolgatanga, handed it over to Makoyongo, and he believes it was given to the president.
Okay. How much in terms of sum or worth was, is it Ford Expedition?
Yeah, Ford
what year
Expedition,
model?
2010.
2010?
Yes.
It means it was a new one?
A brand new one.
Okay. So 2010, at the time, how much was it?
Well, some are saying from the people we've spoken to that it's over $100,000.
It's over $100,000.
Yes. And interestingly, we followed up to the DVLA. We couldn't find the registration details in the DVLA systems, but at customs is there that it was cleared in 2013 February. We are also aware that a duty of 23,600 Ghana cedis was paid, but it was declared as a used vehicle because when they were going to do the clearance,
it had been registered in Burkina Faso.
No, it's not a registered vehicle. It's not registered, but when it got here, we are told that at customs, it was declared. You know, if you're going to pay the duty, you declare what you have, but we are told it's used or declared as a used vehicle, and some declared by Vision Logistics Limited. But as to who registered it, the registration details, they are not found.
Is it possible that the gift, so to speak, they didn't get to the president?
Well, for now,
we cannot ascertain
we cannot say 100%.
So we're only taking the contractor's word for it, that because he said the president called him.
The president called him, and other sources that have not confirmed point to the fact that it got to the president.
Okay. So we'll have a lot more revelations in your expose, as you have extensive ones on other programming on the channel. Yeah. Good work that you're doing, and we wish you all the best protection as you can have. And that's Manasseh Awene Azure, award-winning journalist, now taking his investigations beyond the borders or frontiers of the country. And you just have to tune into other programming on the channel. We have Pulse, we also have Prime, especially in the evening. The big issues also, and other relevant programming on other channels on the multimedia platform, and then you get a lot more insight into his latest expose. It's not to impugn anything, but it's just to ask questions and raise issues, and then you make your own judgment. Well, Manasseh Azure, thanks for joining me. All right, so we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by our panelists for our discussions on AM Talk. So do stay on. We'll be right back.